Here we are. We're getting ourselves into March, and neither of us wore green. We wore blue.
It's tomorrow. Today's Thursday. We'll wear it tomorrow.
Bad jokes. You're first?
Yeah, sure. So I found out recently that my toaster is not waterproof. Yeah, I was shocked.
That was a really good one. I like that one. Yeah. We are getting a little bit better. I found out recently that I told my wife that the neighbor passed away. She was shocked. She said, "Who? Ray?" Said, "It's way too early to celebrate already, honey." Talk about March. All right, so some of the questions I'm getting mostly for March is I got a lot of folks that are to hop right into it.
Let's hop
right into it.
Let's hop. It's not Easter yet, but let's hop.
Is they have the equity, they're starting to look at houses, everybody's getting adjusted to these new, quote unquote, the new rates. And it's happening. We're in 6.5-ish, whatever we're going to be.
Sure.
And people are just making it work because they've got equity in their house, they're ready, their circumstances are changing, they're just ready to go.
Yeah.
Questions I'm getting mostly are FHA, conventional. What's the difference? What's some of the criteria, credit scores, things of that nature?
All right, I will try not to make this an hour-long.
No, we don't want an hour.
Conventional versus FHA. The first thing, and you mentioned this too, you can have an FHA loan multiple times in your lifetime. You just can't have 2 FHA loans at one time.
Okay.
There are some very specific circumstances where they will allow it, but we generally say you can't have 2 at a time. In fact, if you have an FHA loan on your house now and you want to sell it, as long as you sell it in the morning and buy in the afternoon, you can do an FHA loan again. Now,
which we do a lot. We've done it a handful of times.
Tons of times.
We've actually gone out and grabbed lunch with everybody and then finished the second half too.
Yeah, and Billy pays. It's great. So FHA, generally speaking, government loan, so a little bit better interest rate than some conventional products. More lenient with credit scores. So if you have somebody that's in the mid to high 600 range,
cool.
FHA sometimes makes more sense. Why is that? It's a government-backed loan, so they're a little bit more lenient with credit score, with debt-to-income ratios and things of that sort. So it's conventional is a smaller bucket, FHA is a bigger bucket. However, once you hit a threshold of, let's just say 720, conventional tends to make more sense. Why is that? It's because the mortgage insurance, or the PMI, is cheaper than what FHA would be. FHA is fixed. It doesn't matter where your credit score is. Conventional is dependent on credit score and down payment.
Okay.
Now, a conventional loan, if you're a first-time home buyer, you can put as little as 3% down, whereas FHA is 3.5%. So sometimes conventional actually has a lower out-of-pocket cost. On your second house, if you're not a first-time home buyer, you have to put at least 5% down on a conventional loan. So that's where sometimes you're going, hey, I'm buying my second house. My first one was FHA. I can't do an FHA loan again, right? Actually could, and you might need to.
All right, so take a step back. 5% down for your conventional loan. That still means you're paying the mortgage insurance, right? But in most, if not all of those loans, you can eventually, when you're 80-20, 80% value, get your way out of that.
You can. So it automatically drops off at 78% loan to value.
Not automatically, because I use a big bank by force when I built my home, and it didn't automatically, and I had to really fight my way out of that.
So it drops according to the amortization schedule. Your house appreciated.
Yeah.
According to the amortization schedule, if you don't factor in any increase in value, it drops off at 78%. But if your home increases in value, or you do renovations, and you think that you're at that 80-20 mark early, you can apply to have it drop. But you're going to have to list the renovations that have been done on the property. Just sheer appreciation, sometimes the banks and or servicers will not allow it. So it's not something that you're definitely into for a certain period of time. Sometimes you can get out of it earlier.
And then on our end, we have a HomeBot service where you get your actual, not Zestimate, because Zestimate just makes a wild guess and throws a dart at the dartboard and you get kind of an idea. Our system is tied into the MLS, which will give you an accurate bit of information. I've done several videos on this. So if you want to actually know the real value tied in the MLS of your house to help you with that 80-20, on the way to go. And then once you get the 80-20, go back to him.
Yeah. At that time, if you have PMI, and you want to get rid of it, the first conversation would be, does it make sense to refinance lower your rate and drop the PMI all at one time, rather than applying to having the PMI dropped.
Cool.
And going through that rigmarole, and also looking and saying, wow, my rates dropped. Well, you just refinance and drop it that way.
Yeah.
But if rates haven't dropped and you like to keep the interest rate that you have, you just apply to have it drop. Now, the HomeBot piece, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes.
I even put myself in my HomeBot because I love seeing that monthly email.
I do
It's
too.
cool. I open it every single time. Even, it doesn't matter what's happening with your home. You kind of want to know at all times what it might be worth.
Do you have your own name as the name, or do you make up a goofy name for it?
It's my own name.
It's your name.
Yeah, it's my own name. I should probably throw something in there that's funny. Just give myself a chuckle.
Billy Jojo Shabadoo Jr. here. And if you haven't seen that Simpson episode, it's hilarious. So every time Billy Jojo, and I get a notification on my phone, Billy Jojo's looking at houses. I'm like, yeah, sure is. He sure is.
It's a great tool. It's a really cool tool. And you click in there, and let's say you close with us. I put you into HomeBot. You get the monthly email. But you're someone that bought a fixer-upper. You can actually go in and edit. I added a bedroom. I redid the flooring. I redid this and that. And then it will recalculate that, because they have no way of keeping up on any renovations you've done. They just know the data from the sale date, how many bedrooms and bathrooms, and then they compare it to the comps recently. So you can actually manually edit it, which is
pretty
really
cool. It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you have some FHA. It can be down to 3% putting down.
3.5.
3.5
for FHA.
Because you have to have the PMI, and then it's the life of the loan, et cetera, et cetera.
FHA mortgage insurance is for the life of the loan. So you would have to refinance an FHA to get rid of that particular mortgage insurance. Conventional drops off at that 78% mark.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you happen to be doing any more recently than the other? What seems to be most popular when you're pre-approving people these days?
Conventional loans will always be the majority of our book. Let's just say, generally speaking, in this area, 50% conventional. The other 50% are all other government loans, meaning VA, FHA, and USDA. USDA is still one of my favorites. I love it. It's a great program. Low rate, no money down. It's awesome. FHA got more attractive last year, I want to say. What year is it? I don't even know.
24.
Their mortgage insurance improved significantly monthly. So it used to be that conventional, much more attractive product, especially with good credit. FHA lowered their mortgage insurance premiums across the board, and it became a much more viable option. So we're pushing more people into FHA than we were before, just because the monthly payment might be better.
There you go. See, that's good. So that answers like 80% of you. That's one of the most biggest questions. And I know we are not covering a ton of topics today like we usually do, but I'm just going to give you the things that you need.
I mean, it's a valid question, because that does change. Again, if you had asked me the difference between FHA and conventional 2 years ago, my answer would have been different.
Nice.
So those things change. They, government entities come in and out with these affordable loan programs that become more or less advantageous to certain buckets. So it's always fluid. So we should probably have this conversation at least once a year,
Which we just did, so we're good.
There you go.
Maybe we'll just make it the March thing.
What else is once a year? Maybe a St. Patty's Day event? Interesting.
St. Patrick's on Saturday. And sadly, it's the last event at Scorpion Brewing.
It's been the talk of my office. We're all big Scorpion fans. So
it's a great spot.
Send them off. Yeah, I know that there's going to be a line of cars on Skinner's Road. So
we have a few shirts. We're going to hand those out while supplies last. We have some swag we're going to hand out. And there's going to be the cupcake lady. Will be there doing cupcakes. Caney Creek's going to be doing some amazing food. I actually got a little teaser of his Guinness stew today.
Yeah, what? I've had their brisket bomb, I think it was called one time. Yeah. Good Lord. I needed to take a nap after it. But
he's doing some stew. He's doing some shepherd's pie. He's doing some Bailey's cake, I'm told. Some other stuff, too. So
we'll be there between 4 and 7?
4 and 7. Stop on by. We'll be there. We'll be handing out some good stuff, and then we'll be chit-chatting and enjoying ourselves.
And if you want to talk FHA versus conventional, I'm not very fun at parties, but I'll be happy to talk about mortgages there.
After 3 beers.
Yeah. I'll gush about it.
Yeah, be all set. You hear all about the FHA loan PMI rates. Awesome. And then it's the same time we're having March Madness, and you guys do some in-house stuff, and you have some fun things you do with everybody here, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we might need to consider a big March Madness event next year.
Yeah, because what are we going to do? All right, so there you go, audience. What do we do next year for St. Patrick's? Tell us what you want us to do, because at this moment we're just doing Scorpion, and then I don't know other things.
We could. I mean, look,
we're all going to Tim's house.
Billy loves March. Yes. Because he loves college basketball. He loves St. Patrick's Day. He loves beer. He loves the color green. Mm-hmm. If we could do March Madness, I think March Madness might be a fun.
Hey, we'll see what the audience tells us.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're already enamored with our amazing dad jokes.
Yeah, Well,
so now they're
people
really
are falling out of their chairs. In fact, don't watch this video while you're driving because you may crash. It was so
it
funny.
might be too funny. All right, so March, here we are having some fun. Let us know what you want to do next March. We're already preparing. We are way ahead of this. And if you have your FHA conventional questions, he's the guy.
I'm your guy.
Make sure you ask him. So we'll see you again next month for April. Not as cool as March, but it's trying. And we'll see you next time.
See you guys.